Oh, mic check 1 2 1 2. Good evening. Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I am your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius, and thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to tonight's show because I got another fantastic show uh, for you. I always say that. I know I'm looking a little rugged. I think I'm gonna have to go to the barbershop tomorrow and clean up a little bit. Sorry, but anyway, this is the manly, rugged look. But before I get things going, like I always, I got to say what's up. Good evening to my right and left hand. My right hand, DDC, Denise, the Giorgio Cooney program director, and producer extraordinaire, Tariq Smoke, Mr. Kim. They're back there ready to do the things that they do to make the show even extra special. And also want to let you guys know, as I always do, when I do this show live, I stream on my Facebook pages and my YouTube channel. So I want to say what's going on to everyone out there that's watching tonight and supporting. Thank you to BronxNet TV for giving me a home here, and also DH1 Television and Spotify for the podcast. So hello to you, and I'll be saying hello to some of the folks that pop in throughout the show. Good evening, Lisa, Jimmy Criffo, Nova. See you guys already, and Alan Greenstein. How you guys doing? Um, fantastic show tonight. This gentleman I have on the show tonight was well, we can call him the originator. Woo! Like Little Richard. He was my very first guest on when I started doing this back in November when I was just doing it for fun. And I didn't have this platform. We weren't yet on BronxNet. We weren't on the streaming network. So only right to bring him back to let this new group of supporters check him out, hear his story, and have a little fun with me. He is one of the original members of the LOS band, a Legends of Soul band that I put together a few years back. But he does so much more. He's a fantastic drummer. He is a producer. He is a motivational speaker. Anywhere he goes, he'll probably do some of that tonight. Just got so many hats that he wears. So it's going to be fantastic to talk with him. He's got some acting things going on. He has actor on his titles as well. And he's been looking forward to this too. He's been looking forward to it so much. The man had changed clothes 1,700 times already before the show started. So hopefully this 1,700 wardrobe will be the last one, and we'll be doing. So it's about 3 minutes after the hour, and you know what that means. It's time to bring special guest on tonight. Please welcome to the show my brother Harvey Morris. Harvey, what's going on there, sir?
What's up, my brother? How you feeling?
How you feeling? You got it together? You good? You got
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
you done changed clothes. You look good. It's all right. You got your colors tight. You're loose. You're cool in that shirt. So you're looking smooth.
Yes, sir.
He's trying to make me feel a little bit underdressed, but I want to send a quick shout out to my man JP Justice, who threw a shirt to me. He's a very funny comedian. He's been on the show before, so I'm wearing his gear tonight. But you look well, man. How's everything going?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, my brother. I'm blessed, and I'm glad to be here with you again, man. It's always good to rock with you, man. You were just a wonderful brother, man, and I love to support you.
Well, I thank you, man. You were my very first guest. Remember, when I back November 5th was the show last year, and I was doing the show by myself. And I said, "Hey, man, why don't you come on?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, cool, cool." And I even debuted a single off of your CD that night. I felt like I was big time. I felt like I was on, NBC or a big network or something. They getting exclusives,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
we had a good time, and I did tell you, man, I wanted you to come back because of this new platform. And so, yeah, I'm so glad to have you, man. So, how has your new year been?
Well, as a musician, things are what they are, bro. They get a little challenging, but we just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I will say that I'm glad that I've been in the studio working. Just getting it together, utilizing this time correctly. You know what I'm saying? And making the best of it.
Yeah, and that's all we can do, basically, man. And we've talked about that many times before. Looking forward to trying to get back in on a show to do the Legends of Soul and Groove together on stage. But you have been working on your project. You told me some other things you got going on, and we're going to touch base with all of that. But for those folks that don't know, and for new fans tonight, tell them who Harvey Morris is. Tell them who you are, man. Where you're from.
Well, I'm from the BX for sure.
There you go.
Born and raised in the Bronx, baby. But right now I'm in Jersey, and I am a father. I am a child of the Most High Yahweh, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I'm an actor, entertainer, music producer. Uh, just who I am, bro, and just glad to be here. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the most important thing. That foundation that you gave, we all give praise to the Most High.
Yes,
Um, so let's start at the beginning, man, because I know you and met you as a drummer.
yes,
I didn't know once I got to know all these other things about you, these other avenues and things that you have, talents and blessings. But you started drumming. Was drums the first instrument that you took up?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drums. I started playing drums when I was 2, and I started singing. I guess when I was like maybe 4 or so, or something like that. I know I want to be an entertainer. Yeah, before I started entertaining, but drumming was my first instrument. Then I went on to learn how to play a little keys, and then started producing, writing music. I
Right.
yeah.
So what avenue do you enjoy the most? I know they're all enjoyable, but we all have our favorites that, it may be like they're all your children. You go, well, I don't know. I like all my children and love them all the same, but they all have special gifts. Like which one can you just automatically just go to and pick up and that's it for you? You can solve issues and everything with playing the instrument.
Production. I would say production. Producing music, because it covers everything. Well, actually, production covers everything because it covers my acting, it covers my music, it covers my reading, writing, creativity. So I say production.
Excuse me. Okay. So you do write as well. You
Yes,
write and read music?
yes, sir. I write and read music, and I write songs. I love writing songs. I actually I'm in the process of working on a hip opera.
Hip opera. Okay.
Hip opera. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool. Now, what what category is your favorite? Because I'll just tell you straightforward. I love ballads. I'm a romantic soul. I love that kind of thing. I love writing anything that comes as far as inspirational. But if I can knock out a beautiful ballad, that's it for me. What about you?
Man, I love hip hop. I love R&B. I love gospel. Um, they all relevant. I mean, for me, it's really about positive music. My motto is positive music for positive people, healthy music for healthy people. And yeah, man, I would say, yeah, I would say hip hop, R&B, gospel.
And excuse me, on your present project,
Yes.
do you have a combination of all of those?
Actually, I'm working on 3 different projects that have all 3 of those things. I have a socially conscious hip hop project that I'm working on. I have a gospel project that I'm finishing up, and I have, of course, that R&B joint that I did the a song for my wife, and that's a whole project, not just one song, but whole
Right.
project.
So what are you finding, man, hard about the industry, once you got into it, because we all see something different from the outside, and then we get into it and we start learning uh, the valuable lessons and things, the ins and outs. What's one thing that you didn't realize was so tough about the industry, but now but you can handle it now?
Well, the industry is ever evolving and changing. And one of the things that I found, and I'm glad that you brought this up, when I love the idea of being able to access music and give music to folks, but when we're streaming as artists, we get very little by way of money. That's why it's important, that the general public knows that when you're purchasing music, that you should purchase like MP3s, go to iTunes because they have Apple Music. Apple Music is where you stream music, but if you go to iTunes, you can actually purchase MP3s for the art from the artist, and the artist will get like greater a more of a portion of the money. You know what I'm saying? Rather than
Yes.
getting, just a quarter of a penny per stream. When you go and you purchase a song from iTunes or Amazon,
Hmm.
or you go to those other sites where you can actually download the music, uh, the artist gets more. I mean, when I say more, you're talking about you know uh, uh, for one song you can get 60, 70 cents because you have to you know deal with the distributor whatsoever.
Sure, sure.
But if when you're dealing with streaming, you get less than a penny every time somebody streams your song, which means that you have to have almost 2 or 3, 4, 5 million viewers just to, get some kind of money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are definitely different levels and different platforms where you can go there and get a portion of your money, or you can create your own thing and get all your money. But then there's also a little chip to that too, where you have these other platforms that are worldwide, and you trying to do it as an independent may not have that worldwide recognition. So you sometimes you got to bite the bullet and deal with the best company that's going to give you the most for your project, which is definitely true. Yeah, man, because right now artists, that's what a lot of artists are doing. They're doing their own independent things and not dealing with record labels and companies like that, because that's one of the things about the labels. They were not paying the artists the monies that they deserved.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's definitely a good business thing, that if people are watching that are trying to get into the industry, number one rule, make sure take care of your business
Well,
on
see,
that level.
and Brother Sean, I'm glad that you said that, because when it comes down to the business, you're no longer just an artist. You become a business person. So you have to know your marketing. You have to know just your overall business structure. Also, my suggestion is that when you're letting out music, maybe you want to, put out a song or two on in social media or whatsoever, but you want to drive people, traffic to your site. You build your own website where you can then, house your own music, and from there you can sell your music on your own site. And this way you get a larger portion. That's all.
Right, right. It's very important. There's someone says, Nova says, artists make their money on tour, but if you're not a known artist and you're not working with the label or anything, it's hard to get your tour thing together and continuously tour. So my thing would be make sure if you can write, like you read and write your own songs, get your own publishing situation together, publish your music so that you can get your royalties. And when you know what I mean? Because there's so many more ways to make the money outside of just doing the touring as an artist. So you obviously know all of that. You have a band yourself. Well, you work with several
Right.
bands, but you have your own band. Tell
Right.
them the name of your band.
Oh, the name of my band is Deep Cover Groove, and we were gigging a lot. But here's the interesting thing: because of this pandemic, it has restricted our movement. So um, there's almost a new normal, I will say, and that is, now you have to kind of like stream shows, stream your content. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. Even when you stream like a show like this, your streaming is wonderful so long as you don't play music, because the moment you play music and there's a copyright, question,
Yep.
you'll hear the show, you hear the communication, but you won't hear the song. So you'll see stuff. So if you're playing a video or something, they'll say stuff like, because of copyright infringement,
Yep.
we can't play a song, this, that, and the other. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy now. So we have
Yep.
to reinvent ourselves. And the way we used to see the industry as far as touring, hopefully we'll get back to that. But until that time, we need to consider streaming, paid streaming, because there are a lot of artists now, what they're doing. Like I noticed, like Shaka Khan, she did this over the Christmas holiday. What she did was she advertised that she was going to be streaming a live show, and people were able to go in and actually pay for tickets to gain access. And then she did a show, and
Right.
that's kind of almost the new norm these days.
Yeah, because we don't know, or we really can't see the end of where this is going to be. It's going to get back to what we consider the old norm, to where you can go out and entertain and perform and do stuff. That's cool, man. So let's talk about your acting stuff. What acting things have you done recently or before the pandemic that you want to mention?
Well, okay. Well, the last show I did was the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I was on season 3, and I had a good time, man. I mean, the cast, the crew, everybody. I mean, just everybody was just amazing. The directors, you know, it was just an amazing experience. So you can find that on Amazon Prime, and you can see all 8 episodes. I'm in 6 of the 8 episodes. I'm not in episode, I think 7 and 8, but all the other episodes I'm in. And
That's
uh,
cool. You enjoy the acting thing? Is it
man,
something?
I love acting, bro. I love acting. I mean, I really do, because one of the things about acting, Well, in my case, my experiences, I have always, well, not always, two of the three experiences that I've had in respect to, big screen. Um, I have my own trailer. The food is good. The people are nice. I did the first show I did was the show called Begin Again, and that's with Keira Knightley, CeeLo Green, Mark Ruffalo, James Corden, and Adam Levine. And then the next project that I did, I was in The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, uh, uh, Zac Efron, and there
Okay.
was, a whole couple other folks. And the last show I did again was the Mrs. Maisel with the wonderful Rachel Buchanan and Alex. Bushanahan, I want to say her name correctly, and Alex, and I mean just the whole crew again. The Palladinos, Dan Palladino and Amy Palladino, they were the directors
Hmm.
and creators of the show. I mean, when I tell you the whole crew was amazing, the whole crew, cast, director, everybody just was amazing.
All right. So you got a taste of being in front of the camera. Would you ever consider uh, behind the camera stuff? And which positions would you like to do if you considered it?
Okay, well, I'm already behind the camera. A lot of my music videos, I have produced. Actually, any of the music videos that you saw me in, I produced. I produced.
Okay.
I produced four music videos. One which has not been released yet. But I also did a project with his brother Milo Z. I actually was in that video, but I also edited his video. So I like directing. I like writing. Again, it's all relevant. The music has introduced me into the acting, which has introduced me to producing.
What
Content.
outside? Okay,
Mhm.
outside of the obvious, in front of camera, behind the scenes, what do you find different or that you enjoy most? Because I've done both as well,
Mhm, mhm.
and you have to still be 100% in the project on both sides. You
Right,
know,
right.
so what have you learned being in front and behind the camera that makes your decision what it is about which one that you enjoy the most?
Well, when I want to take on more responsibility, I'm behind the camera. But when I just want to just chill and have a good time, I'm in front of the
And right, that's the biggest thing you learn. Because boy, I'm telling you, being in front, you just go in and do be your cat. But when you get behind and you're a director, producer, oh yeah,
You're
it's
responsible for everybody when
everything.
you're the not just the director, when you become the executive producer.
Yeah,
So, and actually, when you're creating content from the beginning, you wearing all of those hats until you find other people, until you're able to delegate those responsibilities. Except when you get big projects, which I'm still working on. Haven't gotten a big project yet.
sure,
I'm working
sure.
on it, bro. I'm working on
Hey, you put it out there in the universe. It's coming. It's coming soon.
it. That's it.
Drumming. We've we've shared the stage on numerous shows,
Yes.
and one of the things I enjoy about you is your energy and your showmanship, and your personality on stage, and still being able to. Because we know the drumming position is a very important position, carrying rhythm, along with the bass player and everything at the bottom. When you're in there, what is your energy? What is your mental when you're drumming, man? Because especially with different songs, you got to be in the pocket with so many. You got to know so many different genres, the timing on stuff, and now it's easy comes easy for you.
Mhm.
But how do you get your focus on? Because it's something you love, and I've witnessed it firsthand,
Mhm.
um, and the energy you put out. So how do you prepare yourself to get into your groove? With
Okay. Well, of course, there's always, initially, just before I started even working with artists, it was more about just practicing and learning how to play songs, just playing songs. I was never the chop guy, doing a whole bunch of chops. It was really about, learning to play the song. When there was this brother, Tony Stevenson, this brother took me under his wing. And last time I made this mention, I didn't say a few people, some folks got upset. So I'm gonna mention the New York City Lancers because they took, they took me under their wing. The Warriors, these are drum corps, by the way, and that's where I learned to hone my skill especially in church. I learned church, the New York City Warriors, the New York City Lancers, which were drum corps. And then when I got on stage, it was really about the singer or when you're a musician, it's about supporting whoever is up front. It's not about
Hmm.
getting out there is look at me. That's not what it's about. Not unless it's about you. If you're the artist and that's then it's about you. But when you're supporting an artist, it's about the artist. And what I love about you, brother Shawn, and working with you is that you know how to entertain. And I love supporting what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank
That
you.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, we've had fun. We've had fun. If you guys want to check out some of the shows that we did, especially over there at the old BB King's in
Yeah.
Times Square, you can go to my YouTube channel, Shawn Cornelius Entertainment. You'll see Harvey doing his thing and us having a great time. And that's that's what I was gonna get into on that next level. But there's someone asked a question: do you have any clips of your videos? Where can they find your videos?
Oh, you can go on YouTube and you can look up look up Tough Stuff Productions, TUFFSTUFF, Tough Stuff Productions, and you will find my first video called Everybody, the other video called Thank You, and then you'll see another video. Well, with Milo Z, you have to go to Milo Z to look at his video. But if you also go to my Facebook page, you'll find Milo Z's video, calling out, the one I produced. Thank You, Part One, and Everybody, and I also did another video for excuse me, for Black History Month. And it's a song that I did called Lift Every Voice, which is a remake of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And I did a picture presentation. You can also go onto my Facebook page and find that. So, and yeah.
Okay, the information for that is right up on the screen, so folks can go Harvey Morris on Facebook and check out all of that work. So, what do you got coming up, man? Because you said you're doing some things. Go back and tell them the name of your projects. But what do you have coming up that might be coming out soon, still during the pandemic or after the pandemic? Things that you might can mention that you're working on. What's the biggest thing you're working on?
I'm about to release another video, Thank You Part Two, which hopefully will be released in the next month. The next biggest thing I'm working on, I'm working on my Sweeties CD, and I don't know what we haven't figured out the title of the CD yet. I also have my socially conscious hip hop CD, which is coming out real soon, and it's called The Mind's Eye. That I'm really excited about, and I'm also working on my second gospel project, which is another joint I'm really excited about. Those things will be coming out in the next 6 months. Well, hopefully, the Mind's Eye will be coming out within the next 3 months because I'm almost done with that project.
Okay, and that's work. All right. So, as far as working with folks and in the studio and work, because you have to have an ear and you have to have vision to be able to work with someone, write a song for someone.
Right.
Let's say if you're writing a song for a female, because you got to put yourself in her shoes and do that. What's one of the hardest things that you find about working with artists?
Well, I don't find things hard. What I think when you learn to pay attention to an artist, see, it's just like being on stage. See, being on stage helped me in my production because I work with artists like Cuba Gooding. He can be rough on drummers. Larry Blackman, he's very rough on drummers. GQ Raheem, he can be rough on drummers too. But man, let me tell you something. What I've learned is that when you learn to pay Freddie Jackson also, but Freddie, he's not hard on drummers. He just wants the whole project to be right. But
Sure.
but the thing that I find is when you learn to pay attention and you listen to what the artist is saying, when I'm producing, I like to pay attention to the artist, listen to their tone, listen to their rhythm and how they speak, pay attention to what their core values are, what the subject matters, that stuff that matters to them. That's how I write. I usually pay attention to the artist. I pay attention to the music that they listen to, because a lot of times artists, when they are listening to other artists, they're influenced by those artists. So my objective is to be able to uh, um, provide for them that bed of security and that bed of comfort to be able to say, you know what, he's got me, he understands me. He's writing in my key, he's writing for me. He's clearing the lane. He's using these tones and things that are relevant to my understanding of what music is.
All right, Harvey, that was a very good politically correct answer. That's a wonderful thing to say about people, and it's very politically correct. But I know good and well, as I've worked with people, there's gotta be, and I didn't ask you to call no names. I said, what is one of the hardest things that you know good and well working with people and different people? You've had some sessions where you've just been like, ugh, God. And I'm not talking about maybe talent wise, you know what I'm saying? But it could even be techniques, and the artist
Mhm.
is on a certain level, or they're getting to a certain level, or honestly, their attitude, because some people feel like they are bigger or better than they are. And I'm just saying, just overall, like,
Okay.
what's one of the hardest things? And your answer before that was fantastic. It's good for TV. I appreciate it. But let's be transparent. I ain't gonna let you get away with that.
Well, see, listen, in the transparent, honestly, being transparent, the
Yeah,
most challenging thing when it comes down to working with artists is me getting out of the way of the artist. I mean, and that's the the only way I can say it, because a lot of times when we have a challenge with artists, it's really not the artist. It's the fact that we have our own idea of what things should be, and we're
right,
so focused on getting what we want done, we're
right,
not paying attention to what the artist is actually asking. And then if our facility, when I say facility, if our abilities to be able to interact with the artist is not correct, then we want to steer the artist to the place that we want them to be rather than going to where they are asking to be.
right.
So it's just like anything else, man. And actually, I have a client that I'm working with right now. This brother, he knows exactly what he wants. But what happens is that the other brothers and sisters that have worked with him, they've tried to impose their idea of what music is.
Right,
Because
right,
because sometimes what happens is you'll have folks who will not validate your musicality because it's not from where they think it should be.
sure.
And I have run in that. I've run up against that a lot. People, they know me as a drummer, but they don't know I went to college. They don't. I mean, when I say went to college, they don't know I went to college for music. They
Hmm.
don't know that my expertise is in production. I don't even tell them. You know why I don't tell them? Because it's not for them to know. You understand?
I get you.
Because the thing is, I'm sorry, I don't want to get all all biblical and everything, but the word
You're
says,
so funny.
"Cast ye not thy pearls to swine, lest they trample them under their feet and tear them to shreds." Which means this: when you're dealing with folks and you are giving them your value, you're showing them your value, and if they can't receive it, that means they're not ready for it. And so, therefore, listen, if you're not ready for it, okay, I'm gonna fall back and let you do what you do. And
Yeah,
then this way, however things happen, they happen. And you can't say that I got in the way because all I did was respect your wishes.
and again, knowing that and being there, I've worked with producers who will do just what you said. They may not know your background, but they think that it's less of what, like, you don't know what you're doing. Or if I bring
Right,
you a song, or if I bring you some chords or a melody, you think that's all I have because you don't know my years of history of music, or even in my interpretation, but basically me. If I come to you singing something the way I'm singing, that's what I'm feeling. That's what it is. And someone else who has whatever they feel on that level of expertise will come at you from their level, going, "No, I think you should do it this way." No, but that's not what
right,
I'm feeling. You know what
right.
I mean? So that's no, that's a good point. That's a valid point. See how we go. See where we go when we
Right.
get transparent.
But see,
So
let me tell you something else. I want to tell you something else about that. Um, part part of that experience comes from when a person sees you. and they don't validate you, they get in the way of the growth of both of you's experience. I found that when I first started working with people and I had taken on that experience of, bruh, let me help you with this. Um, I was so busy trying to help them, I was hurting them because I couldn't see them.
Right.
I didn't want to see them. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to see me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again goes back to what we talk about.
Cool. No, you're right, and that's a perfect way to put it, and that's right on time too. Because this first half hour, I always tell people it flies by so good much when I'm talking to people because I love hearing about people and their experiences. But I'm gonna take a break right about now because this is around the time when we take a short little break, and then we come back. And I'm gonna put you now. When we first did the show with you, I didn't have this love zone, but
I got
now
you.
we
I'm
now
ready for you, bro. I'm ready for
now we have it, and we're gonna see all those costume changes you made and all those things that we go. Now, hopefully, you got it all set. But we'll be back. You're gonna stick around, right? You're
you.
not gonna go. Are you gonna go change again?
Oh, if you want me to,
No,
I'll. But if not,
it's
I'm,
up to
I'm
you.
stay right just like this. I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna keep you right there, man. We'll be back with more entertainer Harvey Morris on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius in two shakes.
Spell love for me, baby.
L-U-V.
That is not how you spell love.
That's how I spell it. Just because you spell it differently, don't mean it means anything different.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is comedian Tony Tone, and you're watching After Dark with the host with the most, Shawn Cornelius. My man.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is the KID, the Kid Capri, man. And we all need to do our part in stopping these unnecessary killings. So I'm sending love and support to a good guy, man, Shawn Cornelius, and his Enough is Enough movement. Keep raising your voice and, be safe and send me my t-shirt, man. You're doing great out there, man. I'm real proud of you. Sirius XM Fly is the station, KID. Remember, check me out, all right? Block Party.
All right. Welcome back to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Still sitting in with me tonight, my brother, as he said, from another entertainer, Harvey Morris, man. And Harvey, we had a great first half of the show. I'm looking forward to this second half as well. But I need a little bit of help from you, man. I need a little bit of magic.
I got you.
I need you, since you're a drummer, you did a lot of counting me off during the shows. I need you to count me off. Give me that 3 count. 1, 2, 3. I need to see what magic you got over there on that side.
Can I give you a little James Brown joint?
Yeah, hit it with the James.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, smoothness. You are now on the love seat, man, the romantic funny man's love seat in the love zone. And I'm just going to jump right into it. You ready?
I'm ready, bro. Let's go.
All right, I'm going to start off kind of regular, but I'm going to flip it up on you in the middle.
Okay.
Give me your definition of love, and why is love important to you?
My definition of love is giving. My definition of love is giving to yourself, patience, nurturing, giving to others understanding and learning. I mean, love is such a vast. It's such a vast word. It's 4 letters, but it means so much. And it's subjective based on our understanding of what love is. And so my understanding of love, it's giving, it's patience, it's nurturing, it's long suffering, it's kindness, it's joy, it's sexy, it's dynamic.
Okay. And why is all of that important to you?
It's important to me because Well, first of all, there are different types of love. You don't share the same kind of love with your brother that you would share with your woman. You
Mhm.
know, so with the brotherly love, I appreciate that kind of love. Because it creates a bond of like, yo, bro, we gonna make this work. You know what I'm saying? We gonna figure it out. Learning to place principle before personality and saying, yo, you know what? Being able to say, my brother, I like what you do. And that's the thing that I love about you, man. You know what I'm saying? Brother Sean, I see your grind. I love what you do, man.
Thank you.
I love
Thank you, bro.
it. You know what I'm saying? You are what I'll call a, an attribute of goodness to this whole experience. So I
Thank
love
you.
you for that now.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Now,
All right.
getting to love of my children. I love my children. You know what I'm saying? That's where the nurturing comes in. Just I love my babies. I love my sons, my daughters. I love them, and that kind of love is that soft thing where you got to learn how to balance discipline, focus, and caring. You got to pay attention to your kids, man, because they're not going to be what you want them to be. They're going to be who they are, and we have to just learn to pay attention to them and learn to nurture them and help them to grow in their way, not in the way there's a book called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And it says, as parents, we're like the bows, and our children are like the arrows. And as the bows, we point them in the direction in which we want them to go. But then when it's their time to fly, we've got to allow them to be who they are. So that's that kind of love. Now, there's the mama love, and father love, parent love, where it's like it's that thing where you grow up and your mother, your father becomes your hero, and you learn to love them and care for them, and well, they teach you how to love and care for them. And then I know for me, when it came to that point where it got to a point where I had to start taking care of my mom and my dad, and that's a whole nother love, and that's the God love, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. Now there's the eros.
I'm waiting for it, brother. I'm waiting for it.
The love, the love that you got for your significant other.
Yeah, I should have
All
asked this
right.
question last, but go ahead. Go ahead. I got you. Go right on. I'm gonna give you a close up.
The love of your significant other, it requires all of those things. It requires paying attention. It requires being able to articulate. It requires giving, but it also requires being able to receive. That kind of love, you can't, it's like I've learned for me, I was not able to share that kind of love with someone until I learned how to love myself, because I can't make somebody happy. Well, no, let me correct that. I uh, no one can make me happy until I learn how to make myself happy, until I can articulate what it is that I want and what it is that I need. And those things, those people are not responsible for. I'm responsible for that. You can add to my love, you can add to my care, you can add to my nurturing, but that initial seed that's planted has to come from me. You know what I'm saying? So self-love, it just say I say evolves into world love.
Okay, I got you. All right. Next one. Romance. What is your definition of romance?
Romance. That's gentleness, sweetness, kindness, soft talking, doing nice things, man. Paying attention. You know what I'm saying? When your significant other says something and they don't think you heard them, and then you just, one day just show up and be like, hey, baby, I just want to let you know I heard you. Here's something for you. You know what I'm saying? Um, Working for your loved one, man. You know what I'm saying? Being able to, I know for me, I love doing certain things for my sweetie.
Right.
I love, you know, my sweetie, she has a house. So when it snows, I love going out there and shoveling that snow. I mean,
That could be romantic to
listen,
some.
you know why it's romantic for me? because at the end of the day, she's like, "Oh, baby, I love that. Thank you. Let me rub your feet. Let you done took care of me. Let me help you." You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
It's reciprocated.
Bruh, and that's because she loves herself, and I love her and I love myself and she loved me, and that's what it's all about, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't love somebody that don't love themselves, because
Right.
all you're gonna do is create an abusive situation sometime. Mm-mm.
All right, let's jump to this.
Yes,
Outside of your sweetie,
yes.
if you could have a dinner with any person, past, present, or future, who would that person be and why?
Outside of my sweetie, you mean for love, purpose of love?
No, just hear my voice. Outside of your sweetie,
Hmm.
just I didn't, because usually that's why I got to cater this question for you, because usually the question is anybody you would have a romantic dinner with. I'm saying specifically, basically just anybody
Uh-huh.
that you could have a sit down dinner with, past, present, or future. Who would that be?
The great and all powerful Yahweh, my creator, baby. I would want to sit down right there. Lord, help me to understand. Give me the wisdom, the knowledge, the insight, and the understanding, and the love, so that I can bring forth what you have given to me. Help me to understand my purpose. Help me to understand and give me that drive and that fire, so I can bring forth and do your will. That's what I want to have
All right.
dinner.
All right. Now we know there are things that present themselves as ugly in this world. We know there's the good, the bad, the ugly. But from your perspective, give me 5 things that you love about life in the world.
Mm. Wisdom, knowledge, insight, understanding, balance, and family.
All right. Sounds like this. That's fantastic. That's cool. Moving on to the next. All right. Respect, honesty, and trust.
Yes,
3 very essential parts of a relationship.
yes.
Tonight, for just this moment on the show, you're allowed to take one of those away and have a successful relationship still. Which one of those are you going to get rid of?
Man, honestly speaking, I wouldn't want to take neither one of them away, because they all are important parts of a relationship. That's just like saying, yo, man, you got your head, you got your arms, and your legs. Which one you want to take away? They all serve a purpose, and I want them all.
Okay, but for this show, I can't let you get away because that's a very good answer. Thank you for that response. But for this show, like I said, you have to take one away.
Okay, what are the 3? You said,
Yes, respect, honesty, and trust. Now, before you answer, I like when people do that because you're not the first person that has said that to me. I can't. I'm not gonna. I can't. No, yeah, you are. For this purpose, for this show, you can take one away and still be good for the show
respect, honesty,
and trust.
trust.
Yeah.
They all so important. I could not imagine living without any of them. So I mean, geez, yo, Shawn, that's a crazy question.
Again, the
No,
important thing about the question is you will still be able to have a successful relationship without one. So it's not like you're in the real world, right? You're in the love zone right now, brother. Anything goes in the love zone.
nah, bro. Respect, honesty, and love. Those are
You have to take one away. You
Gotta
have to
take
take
one
one away. Yeah, you got to get rid of one.
Wow. Ah, man.
Yes, yes, sir.
Because they all, they all intermingle. I don't
That's
think you can, honestly speaking, I don't think you can have a healthy. You can have a relationship. You can have a successful relationship, but it doesn't necessarily make it healthy.
I didn't say anything about health. I
Well,
just
I
said,
need, I
but
need, I
now
need
if
health.
but listen, if you have a successful relationship, that means you're having a healthy relationship.
Well,
If your relationship is because if you're not having any kind of healthiness in your relationship, then that means you're really if a wise person wouldn't be in that relationship because it can't be successful without
well,
healthiness.
well, think about this. If a sister don't trust you, it's gonna always be drama. Am I right? And if she don't respect you, there's gonna always be drama, right? And
Hey, Harvey,
Yeah, I can't answer that.
No. This is called After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I ain't gonna let you put me on the hot seat and twist my question around and give it to me. The question is
I'm sorry, bro.
respect, honesty, and trust. You can take one away and still have a successful relationship. Which one are you taking away?
Respect.
And you would not be you if we wasn't having this kind of conversation.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't know you can have respect without honesty.
If you well, okay, so as soon as you answer the question, I'll tell you what some of the answers have been and why you can. Go ahead.
Okay,
So you still
honesty.
think about it.
Honesty. If I had to think about it, it would be honesty.
Okay, someone out there in also in other lands said honesty as well, because you can regain it with the love and respect. Now, here's the thing about if you have someone who respects you, they're going to be trustworthy and they're going to be honest with you. So if you take out honesty, you can still have that respect from someone. These are just conversations. Now I'm giving because I ain't gonna give you my reason so you can turn it around on me.
Right.
But
But my brother, can I say this?
yes, you can.
What you're saying is a one-sided relationship, because if that sister is respecting you and being honest with you and you're not being honest with her, then that means that you're taking away from the relationship.
Okay, so first of all, you're thinking too much because all I said was you.
We got to think. Shawn, we got to think, because if we're going to be in situations, I'm trying to tell you.
But see, here's the parts that you keep missing.
Okay.
For this show, you can take away one and still have a successful relationship. I ain't talking about once you get off this program and don't go start talking to your sweetie and say, Shawn said we can get rid of trust or we can get rid of no. Only once you leave the love zone, you on your own, brother.
Exactly.
But inside
inside
the confinement and the restraints of this show, you safe.
Okay.
So it's again, it's
honesty.
Okay. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to save yourself for afterwards, but that ain't my situation. I am the genie of the love zone. I have nothing to do. Okay, so save yourself on this one. You walking down the street and you kick a bottle. Out comes the romantic funny man genie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a low budget genie right now. I got one wish for you.
Okay.
But it has to include romantic love.
Okay.
What is your one wish?
I'm going to ask you for $100 billion because that's all I need, and everything else.
That ain't got nothing to do. Okay, it's your wish though. That's fine.
Because listen, because guess what? With that $100 billion right there, I'm buying my sweetie a house. I'm gonna buy her all the flowers and everything else she needs, and then I'm gonna take her on a nice vacation. And guess what? I'm gonna cater to her and whatever she want, baby.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to get yourself out of trouble from that last question. Talking about you think you slick, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pull your card. Oh my God. Well, good one. I give you kudos, brother. Good save. Okay, man, that's fine. Before we move into our last section of the love zone, give these you're very good at giving advice, man. You're very good at because I've seen you even with like you mentor, because plus you have kids. Please give the young ladies advice on dating men and the young men on dating women today. Give them each 1 minute each. So give a minute on the women and a minute on the young men.
Okay. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna say, first of all, this is how I'm gonna say it. If you can't pay attention to the personality, don't mess with the poom poom. That's number one. Number two, when it comes down to love yourself, honor yourself, because when you resonate in that frequency of life, then you begin to gravitate that thing. Number three, when you pay attention to your mate, pay attention to who they are and learn to provide for them, not just by way of money, but learning to help them to feel safe, comfortable, and joyous. Again, this is not your responsibility, but you can add to your sweeties, your significant others, place of comfort. Love should be a place of a safe haven. So being able to create a safe haven for your significant other is important. Also, the same way you give, you have to be willing to receive. When I say that, what I mean is you got to be willing to receive that love. You got to be willing to um, that safe haven, create that safe haven for yourself. And my motto for that is you allow to add to my joy. You're allowed to add to my peace, but you're not allowed to take away from it.
Gotcha. Wonderful advice, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm looking at some of the comments. Nova says he's so reasonable, he can't be unreasonable. And she starts laughing. So I don't know. I don't know if she's talking about you or me or both of us, but that was one of the comments. Also, Jay Boogie said, give up honesty because you can regain it with the love and respect.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, someone said give up trust. If you respect someone, you'll be honest. At some point, you'll earn the trust. If you have to give up something, she was saying give up the trust. So there's a bunch of things going on the other side. That's funny. And I got to tell you something. I was watching Smoke and DDC. They were having a ball laughing with that last discussion. You get a chance to question them at the end of the show, but they were enjoying that. So what I'm gonna do, man, and you just gave advice to young men and young women, and I usually do this at the end, but I want to do this now and let's have fun with closing out the show. Please give another positive message, a final positive message to everyone. Take about a minute and a half and give a positive message, a final positive message from Harvey Morris.
The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but the one who endures to the end. Now, in fact, Brother Shawn, if it's okay, I'm going to do one of the raps that I have from my joint, if that's okay. And it goes like this. It goes like this. Young soldier, if you're lost, receive instruction. Being disrespectful shouldn't be a part of your function. Dysfunction in the life you live, you're constantly taking the time you should give. Hopelessness and helplessness, the things you feel, like confusion and fear, false evidence appearing real. But there's still hope for you. Here's a quote for you. The greatest wars are not fought on the battlefield, but in the minds of man, where things become real. This is where we live or die by every choice we make. We gain success by enduring where other men would break. The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but the one who endures to the end. So hold on. It's all about love, baby. It's all about love. That's my
Appreciate that, man. If I had more money, I would put on some applause from the audience. But since we don't have that budget, I'll just clap for you myself. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for that, man. So look, let's move and just kind of end the show. We've been having a lot of fun, so let's do even more. I have a little bit of magic too. I don't even have to. I'm just going to blink. Like remember the old genie?
Yeah. Wow.
There it is. So here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to close this out with some favorites. I'm going to drop some categories on you, and you just like speed dating. Just give me a quick answer. And yeah, all right. We ready?
Ready. Go.
Here we go. Your favorite food?
Collard greens.
Favorite music? Favorite music?
Love music.
Favorite song of all time?
Favorite song of all time is oh my God. Never Too Much.
All right. Favorite movie of all time?
The Great Debater.
Favorite drummer of all time?
Harvey Morris.
That's cool. Favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot? I've been to a lot of places. I would say the islands. Like me, come on, if I go there.
All right. Huh? Okay, cool. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? I don't watch TV that much, but
all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know, man. Wow. I would say if I had to give up a show, the first show that comes to mind is The Cosby Show.
Okay. All right. Favorite book you've ever read?
Think and Grow Rich.
Good one.
Well,
Okay.
well, actually, I have two: Think and Grow Rich and The Mastery of Love. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Okay. Um, let's see. Let's create one for you. Favorite producer?
Oh wow, I have a couple of those.
Mhm.
I would say Timberland. I would say, um, wow. Well, Timberland. Um, wow, that's crazy. I would have to say Timberland. I would say Timberland's one of my favorite producers.
Okay. Favorite songwriter or songwriters, because we know there are teams. So you can give me both. Your favorite songwriter solo or songwriters team.
Okay. Um, the favorite songwriter. Um, I forget. I think it's Gamble and Huff who did. No. Oh, McFadden and Whitehead. Ain't no stopping us now. And then I would say favorite team. Well, that's a team. But
Hmm.
yeah. But as far as production team, I would say Timberland and Missy.
Okay. And favorite time of the day for love making.
Anytime for me, bro.
That works. No debate on that one. I see you got right to it.
Hey, listen.
All right,
I get
cool.
it in where I can fit it in,
Get it
baby.
in where you fit in, my brother. That works. That works for me. All right, I'm gonna do my magic again. And now you got to do your magic again and count us off and get us back to where we started from.
I'm gonna say a 1, 2, 3, 4, bang.
Boy, you got it. You still got it, even after all that energy you exerted in the show. Harvey Morris, man, with those answers, that final answer about love making, you are now out of the love zone, off the love seat, brother. I love you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I know we had to, switch the day around, and you were so humbled and gracious, and by accommodating the show. So thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Listen, brother Sean, I just want to tell you again, for those of your listeners, I just want to say, this brother right here, he's always on the grind. He's always doing this thing. I remember when I first met him, he approached me in this club called The Groove, and he said, "Yo, man, I want to do this thing." The brother's consistent. The brother is just everything he says he can do, he does. And just, I thank you, man. I thank you for being just the wonderful brother that you are, man. And I pray that you continually grow and just inspire us because you inspire me, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I love you for life. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I also want to thank you, everyone out there that's watching on from the streaming platforms and continuously supporting the show. Got so many more great things, if I can help it, coming up on this show and some other things that I'm putting together. So just make sure you stay tuned and keep your ears out there and your eyes focused as well. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And please take care of yourselves. Continue to social distance, wear your mask, disinfect yourselves, hand sanitize, and keep it straight. So from Lula May and Cornelius, his baby boy, I'm Shawn Cornelius saying good night. God bless you. And I'll catch you around the corner on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Harvey Morris, love you, brother. Good night. Peace.
God bless.